What is up, skate rats? I'm in my robe because we are in a Pennsylvania March, so it was 70 yesterday and it is 30 today. It was actually snowing, but it looks like it's clear weather from here on out, hopefully, at least for this week. Right now I need to switch over my Grind King trucks because if you guys remember in the last video, they broke on me. Now, in the last video, I got a lot of good feedback. Some people talked about switching out my hangers and stuff like that so I didn't have to switch out the whole trucks. And that may help a little bit with the ride height specifically, because that's one of the things that took a bit to get used to, is that the Grind Kings stand taller than Thunders. And my new trucks will be here in 6 days. Grind King has been very awesome. And I don't know if this is a new design thing they're doing for the next batch or stuff like that, but they did tell me they modified the trucks they're sending me. So it makes me feel special, but I don't know if it's something that they've already done. But pretty much now they would love my feedback on these modified trucks to see if I have any issues with them breaking again. So super awesome. But I do need to set up these old, worn out, beaten to crap Thunders. I modified how my scheduling is going for my video part, meaning that I'm skating specifically transition in the next 2 sessions. So these trucks will have to get used for those 2 sessions, but it's kind of okay because the spots I'm going to really do not lend towards grinding. Mostly they'll be stalling transition tricks. So I'm gonna set them up and I'm gonna practice tonight. I also dug through my stuff and I found some 1/8 inch risers. These are more like shock patches, but hopefully they'll give me some of that ride height and it will feel a little normal to what I'm used to skating now. But let's set this up and then we're gonna get some 10 basic mini ramp tricks today in hopes to adjust my brain and understand how those roll again. So hopefully tomorrow when I'm out street skating, it goes better. What is up, skate rats? We made it out to the street spot. Super hyped to try to get a couple of clips right now. I do have about an hour of cleanup / repair, but we are here to skate this. And it's been in my videos before. This place has a lot of significant meaning to me when it comes to skating and building and stuff like that. But I really don't come out here often because for the most part, people are just awful and it sucks. Like, a couple of kids I met, they wanted to check out my private skate park. And they were asking me if I knew about this place, which of course I did. And they were telling me how they use it for fires now. So, thankfully, that's far enough out of the way. I don't got to do anything with that. But I need to start sweeping this entire thing off and get out some body filler. But let me show you the obstacle and how strange it is first. So it's a fairly steep transition. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. It's kind of one transition this way and then one this way. There's also a bunch of ridges going that way across it. And then, of course, I need to repair the bottom of it. There is less than noping because it slants downward. And there isn't a ton of room up here. So this was kind of just meant for one particular thing, which was you would come in from, there was a ramp off of that windowsill. You would roll in, roll down, wave around this. I'm sorry if the camera keeps autofocusing. This is the darkest place in the building. And then right over here was a, get back in the shade, was a kicker to kicker. Now, probably about 9 years ago, the kicker to kicker was demolished and I took it and threw it out the door there. But that's enough wasting time. I have carried a like 60-pound backpack full of lights and shoes and Bondo and just supplies. I'm gonna get started on getting this repaired. So I just finished sweeping. So my roll up will have to be from where all of that is missing. I have to come in, swoop in and avoid things like that, and be able to aim very perfectly around that area. Now I do have Bondo, so I'm gonna touch that up. But the part that kind of scares me a bit is the rollaway has, try to make some shadow here for you guys. That. So I feel like one of the biggest battles is just going to be rolling up to it and away from it. But Jake is watching over me, so help me out, big brother. Body filler is down. I used about half the can, so I do have more if I need to kind of patch up the rollaway a little bit. And I pretty much bought everything to be disposable. So, oh, these shadows are killing me. So like this is a 50-cent plate from Walmart. Each one of these little spatulas cost me like $1. And then a couple of stir sticks was another $1. So, of course, I'm going to throw it away. But I'll leave that right there for now. I'm going to let that dry. And let's go take a walk. We're going to take a walk. I'm going to talk about this place a little bit. I don't want this video to drag too long, so I'm going to speed talk a hair. But more or less, a few years before I started skating, this place was a skate spot. So I met a friend who was a really talented MacGyver-type engineer, even at age 12. His dad was a contractor, so he had access to building materials that were left over from other job sites and that. So we bonded through building, and he asked me if I wanted to be a part of a project out here. He's the first one to ever bring me out here, and I helped build a 8-foot vert ramp. Now, I pretty much drove screws and carried stuff. You know, I was 12 years old. But it was so cool to be a part of that. There was about 10 guys consistently coming in and out, bringing lumber in, and it was just awesome. So there was a street section, there's the quarter pipe I just patched up, and then there was this vert ramp. Nobody had any issues with us being back here until a couple of BMX riders decided to take a shovel and overturn someone's yard to make new dirt trails and jumps to get back here. And we used to walk that trail specifically, and the owner of that property came out and talked to us. So me and my friends, we actually went out and we re-leveled his yard, but those BMX riders did it a second time and the police got called. And the city, instead of sending a construction company out here to tear everything out, they decided to send the police out here. And they didn't tell the police what to bring. It was in the newspaper, stuff like that. So they only brought stuff to cut metal and to cut wood. So this room right here between this wall and this wall with a huge flat bottom was an 8-foot vert ramp. It was one of the coolest things. Like, it was like finding Animal Chin before I knew who Animal Chin was or what Animal Chin was, you know? Just really, really solid, really, really cool. The main room we're entering into now, this was the street section. So this goes for a while. There's a roof over it. And even a few years ago, or I guess a little longer than that, I came out and rebuilt the street section again. And I actually bought a couple of tarps, and every time I would leave, I would stick them in a corner, cover all the obstacles and tarps, and flood it with leaves so that nobody would mess with it. And it lasted about 6 months before someone took all the obstacles and set it on fire. Somewhere around here in the woods is a half-burnt manual pad and a half-burnt flat bar, because it was a PVC flat bar. So I just kind of stopped building here. Same thing with that patchwork on the bottom of the quarter pipe that I just added to. I added that years ago. And a bunch of young teenagers decided to destroy it as I was walking back down to the trail. But it is cool to see that someone has come out here and added this. Now, I'm not going to guarantee anything. This thing is 5 feet tall, based on my height. It is a very short, steep transition. It's not vert, but it's fairly close, and it goes through the window, so really cool shots to get. Looks really difficult to skate. So I want to at least kick turn it, but that might be all I get. Now you can tell they're looking to expand it right here, and over here in this area is a thing of coping. So whoever's been coming out here is really putting thought into this, even to where they're storing their stuff. And this is just one thing I find kind of cool, and then we're gonna head back to the spot. So back in the vert ramp room, this is like a storage room. Obviously the bricks have been knocked out, but the door is on the other side. And I've just been wandering around waiting for my body filler to dry, and I took a peek in here. because I haven't been up here in years. And I love that they're storing their concrete in the storage room. Makes logical sense to me. A couple of basic stuff. I'll do like ollie to fakie. Maybe I'll try to do like a shove on it. Then I'm gonna try to do rock to fakie. This thing is nuts. So up by the ninja's face, it's hard to see with all this sunlight and shadows and that, but up by the ninja's face is this like mogul, which makes it like oververt for a millisecond, and it just throws you off. And your whole run up is from here to here. So you have like, I'm gonna be generous and say 20 feet, which I'll tell you right now, I would want at least double that to do like a really good rock to fakie. All right, guys, I'm ending the video here. I tried the rock to fakie for about a half hour. My right knee is on fire from backpedaling down this. This thing has such a hang-up factor that if I can't get at least an inch past it for a rock to fakie, I'm not even attempting it because it's difficult. I tried to sprint from the woods, but it's all really soft, loose ground surrounded by bricks and rocks and stuff. So one or two times I tripped and decided, okay, maybe we don't run in from the woods. And then pushing into it, that's where I can get to. I can't get past it. So is it possible? Yes. If my bearings were a little better, sure. If my wheels were a little bit bigger, even though I ride 56s, sure. But it's where I'm ending the video. This is such a cool place. This is weird and difficult, but fun. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I do hope to do more videos like this. Sunday, as long as the weather's nice and it's supposed to be, I'm checking an outdoor under bridge transition spot. So who knows? Might make a video about that. As always, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, guys. Hit that like button. It really, really helps out. Subscribe if you like skate content and stuff like that. Have a great day and keep pushing forward.